Home buyers in the National Capital Region are not just having to fight for their homes, which are much delayed, but they are also having to protest against government authorities for lack of basic infrastructure, including roads. Frustrated buyers of Dwarka Expressway took to the streets in large numbers to protest the delay in construction of the Dwarka Expressway. Oineetom Ojha reports.
This is a protest with a difference. These are home buyers, but they are not protesting against the delay of their homes. They are raising their voice against the delay of the Dwarka Expressway highway that connects Delhi and Gurgaon. Over 60 housing projects with almost 50,000 units have been launched along this expressway, and over a lakh of families have invested their life savings. Seven years later, this expressway is a road to nowhere. A month ago, Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari gave Dwarka Expressway a national highway status, asking NHAI to take over and expedite its completion. But since then, there has barely been any progress. For these home buyers, it's a dream gone sour.
When we invested our hard-earned money into Dwarka Expressway, the government kind of initiated or kicked off this project in 2007, and they were supposed to complete it by 2010 before Commonwealth Game, but they missed that deadline. Okay, then there were at least 18 deadlines were kind of put into place for Dwarka Expressway completion, but all those deadlines was missed. Eventually, end of the day, my investment is there. I have a home in Dwarka Expressway which is completed and ready for possession, but I do not have the basic amenities on Dwarka Expressway.
The fate of this 150-meter wide, 18-kilometer expressway has been uncertain since its conception in 2007. The 3,000 crore rupees road project, a joint undertaking of the Haryana and Delhi governments, was conceived to divert 40% of the traffic from National Highway 8 within the Gurgaon-Delhi segment. But its completion has been hampered by Haryana government's inability to acquire land for a 1.8-kilometer span all these years on the Gurgaon side, and DDA's dilly-dallying attitude to acquire this stretch on the Delhi side.
मैं एनडीटीवी के माध्यम से बताना चाह रहा हूँ लोगों को, सरकार को बताना चाह रहा हूँ मैं कि जल्दी जल्दी इसका निपटारा किया जाए। लोगों को जिसका मुआवजा मिलना चाहिए उसका उतना मुआवजा दो। हम ये चाहते हैं, हम ये नहीं चाहते कि आम आदमी का घर उजड़ जाए या वहाँ से वो कहीं और जाके रहने लगे। मैम, हम चाहते हैं कि उनको उनका मुआवजा मिले और हमें हमारा रोड मिले, हमें बेसिक हमारी अमेनिटीज मिले।
While thousands of home buyers await to move into their homes along this expressway, for people like MP Kotnala, it's a different story. This 75 years old retired Air Force officer have been asked to move out of his home as it falls on the way of the expressway. Along with Mr. Kotnala, there are about 348 families whose houses are likely to be demolished to make way for the expressway. Litigations over removal of these houses and taking over farmlands has been holding up the completion of the expressway. But despite a recent High Court order, the Haryana government has not been able to compensate and relocate these people and vacate this stretch.
मकान बनाया मैंने, I put best of material, ये सोच के कि चलो मैं अब आराम से रहूँगा, लेकिन ये हमारे भाग्य में नहीं है। और अब भी हम लोग कह रहे हैं कि ठीक है, तुम लोग ये जो कोर्ट का डिसीजन है वो हमें मान्य है, although it is not as per our requirement. लेकिन फिर भी हम रिकॉन्साइल कर गए, लेकिन कम से कम दो तो सही, नियत रखो।
Giving national highway status seems to have further complicated matters. DDA though has promptly washed its hands off the project, but Haryana government is still in the process of handing over. NHAI on its part looks far more reluctant to take over the project given the complexities involved. In New Delhi, Oineetom Ojha, NDTV.
And to discuss more on this, we have Amit Oberoi, National Director, Valuation and Advisory Services and Research, Colliers International India, in our studio, and Nikhil Jain, CEO, Ramaprastha Group, joining us. So my first question to you, Nikhil Jain, I would like to start by saying that now that Dwarka Expressway has been given national highway status and NHAI will take over the road project, what does this mean for the developers and home buyers of Dwarka Expressway?
This is a very good news that Dwarka Expressway is now a national highway. It will, first of all, it will help NHAI to acquire land without any state government's interference, or I would say limited state government interference. So the dream of connecting National Highway to Delhi via Dwarka Expressway seems a reality now, because the Delhi part of the road was stuck and there was no light at the end of the tunnel, and there was no visibility when the acquisition will start and when the road would be ready from that in Delhi state. Coming to Haryana, I guess barring that 1.8 kilometer stretch, everything is ready. And the government along with NHI is working aggressively to give alternate plots or compensation to the residents of that 1.8 kilometer stretch, which I guess is a matter of time. I know there has been delays, things have gone beyond control, but I guess it's a matter of time. We're looking at next 6 to 8 months for those issues to be settled out. The rail overbridge is almost ready. They are planning to start traffic on that rail overbridge by August. So let's say by end of the year, early next year, we can see that road being completely operational.
Okay, so you think it is a very positive move. What about you, Mr. Oberoi? What do you think? Can home buyers and developers heave a sign of relief now?
I think this is a good move. There is intent, at least from the government's point of view. Putting it under the central government ensures that the state governments have limited role to play, but an important one. They need to make sure that resettlement is taken care of the people who have been displaced. But it's good news, there is intent at least. The proof of the pudding lies in its eating, so hopefully it should get done by next year.
And what could be the challenges before NHAI in this?
Resettlement is definitely one of the biggest challenges that they'll have to face, which is something that Huda and the Haryana government would have to sort out, at least in the Haryana side. To me, that is the biggest challenge that I see.
So, Mr. Nikhil Jain, I would like to ask you, once the expressway is ready, will this totally change the dynamics of the region?
Yes, definitely it will change dynamics of the region. If you go back in time and if you recall, when National Highway 8 was built, the new National Highway 8, there was a complete change in dynamics for the city Gurgaon, and lot many new commercial and residential areas came up. Similarly, this Dwarka Expressway and the residential area surrounding this road have been touted as an alternate to the golf course road. And once the road is ready, definitely there's going to be a big shift in the dynamics because of various reasons. Amongst one of the reasons is the proximity to Delhi and the airport. I personally believe there would be a big jump in the overall sentiment surrounding the area once the road is ready.
And if you do the comparison between Dwarka Expressway region and say golf course extension road, will the difference between the both two property markets will now narrow down and property prices will be like at par?
No, the property prices will not come at par. There would be a big difference that would remain between the two. Dwarka road would be, I guess, definitely a lower than the golf course road, but it would offer a feasible, habitable option to the residents of Gurgaon.
And what do you think,
there would be
Mr.
a
Amit
delta that
Oberoi?
would always be maintained between Dwarka road and the golf course road.
Okay, and what do you think, Mr. Amit Oberoi, like once the expressway is ready, dynamics will change in the region?
It definitely will change, and it will change for the better. Number one, the USP of having the Dwarka Expressway is its proximity to Delhi. That proximity obviously does not happen if there is no road in play. So getting the road, number one, will be a key to connecting with Delhi and Gurgaon. Number two, once the main road is connected, people start living here, and hopefully the state government then makes the internal roads as well. Then you will have a lot more social infrastructure coming in, you will have more offices hopefully coming in, and this area will develop. Whether it will be at par with Golf Course Road or not likely in the next 7-8 years until that area develops. But it does have good potential given its location and proximity to Delhi.
And Mr. Nikhil Jain, I would like to come back to you again. So can we say that local politicians playing some delaying tactics in that area because everybody seems to be jumping into this matter?
I'm not in a position to comment because you don't get to know the true picture. A lot of things happen behind the scenes. So I guess let's not go who is doing what. Let's just rather focus and pray on the Dwarka road coming up as soon as possible. I guess the right steps have been taken and we are in the right direction. It's just a matter of time.
Okay. Okay, it's just a matter of time and hope that everything is sorted as soon as possible. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me today with your valuable inputs, and hope that there is more clarity on the matter and things move forward for developers as well as buyers.